皆様、こんにちは。パスカルリソーセスの八代と申します。本日は私どものセーシェルのパートナー、トラベルエージェントのセブンソース様にお越しいただきまして、セーシェル現地のリアルなお話をお伺いしていきたいと思います。では、まずはじめに、外務省海外安全ホームページよりセーシェルのページを参照させていただきまして、危険情報及び感染症危険情報を確認していきたいと思います。まず、危険情報に関して、現時点で危険情報等は発出されておりません。また、感染症危険情報につきましても、特に情報は発出されておりません。はい。それではここから日本語から英語に切り替えさせていただきまして、セブンソースの皆様にお話を伺いたいと思います。Okay, from now on, I'd like to ask some questions regarding Seychelles' current situations and security to the team of Seven Sauce. Thank you for waiting. So, I understand that the Seychelles is a beautiful island nation known for its clear blue water and white beaches. And it is a peaceful destination surrounded by the rich nature. And I understand that a lot of people visit Seychelles as it offers as ideal environment for rest, relaxation, and a quiet environment. So for the Seven Sauce team, first of all, could you briefly introduce about your country?
Yes, so greetings again from the Seychelles. Seychelles is an island nation. We are in the Indian Ocean, northeast of Madagascar, and about 1,600 kilometers east of mainland Africa. That's why sometimes people say we are in Africa, which we are not in Africa, we are an island, 1,600 kilometers east of mainland Africa. And we consist of 115 islands, which are divided into two main groups, the granitic islands and the coralline islands, or whatever we call them, the outer islands. And Victoria is the capital city. That's the only small capital we have. And it is located on Mahe, the main island, which is the most populated island. And in Seychelles, we have a tropical climate with warm temperatures throughout the year, making it a popular destination. Right, especially no winters, but it's only sunshine throughout the year, with the occasional rain, wind, depending on the monsoons, the seasons. So our population is relatively small, with people from all over the continents, African, European, Indian, Chinese descent. And right now, our population should be around, in fact, at the end of 2024, it was about just over 100,000. That's us Seychellois. But if we combine Seychellois and foreigners living in Seychelles, it should be now almost 122,000. So very small population. And we gained our independence from the United Kingdom in 1976. And we are now a republic. And we mainly depend on fishing, tourism, and financial services, the offshore sector. A very peaceful country, nice landscape, clear oceans, and we conserve a lot of our environment. So that's why we are always known as the little paradise in the Indian Ocean.
Okay, thank you for your introduction about Seychelles. As I understand that, I know that Seychelles is very peaceful and a beautiful countries, but I'd like to ask some questions regarding the safety, security, and the medical. So my first question is regarding the safety situation. May I ask that how would you describe the overall safety situation in Seychelles for foreign travelers?
Well, overall, that's why you will not hear about the Seychelles in the international news that there's been fighting, civil unrest, war, battles. Those things don't happen in Seychelles. We are very quiet. We are very peaceful. Tourists come year in, year out. There's never been any occasion that tourists have been asked to stay in the hotel. There's a civil unrest in town. There's people fighting. No, it's never happened. And this we intend to keep it that way, remain the peaceful little country.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you so much. And for my next question is regarding the common troubles or crimes. According to the Foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan, some Japanese people stay in Seychelles reported some petty crimes. So I just want to ask that what kind of problems or the crimes do tourists most commonly face in Seychelles, like theft or scams or beach-related incidents? Could you just tell me based on your experiences?
Like my colleague mentioned, crime rate in Seychelles is very low. As you've mentioned, it's petty crime that could happen to any client. Most problem that the client will face, like Seychelles, there are some fantastic secluded beaches which they would love to visit and see. So when they go on those beaches, they might be kept their bags unattended and went into the sea. So they might be, like my colleague mentioned, pickpocket. They can snatch the bags and run away with it. So this is mainly the main issue. So that is why we advise the travelers to always keep their valuables either in the hotel safe, not to travel and walking around with a lot of money, or their mobile phones, not to go. At least if there's two of them, one has to take care of the bags and the other one go to the sea. Because these beaches, they are not in Seychelles. Not all beaches are safeguarded by the lifeguard. There are some which is open to the public. So this is the common issue that the travelers might face here in Seychelles. But for the crime, as I mentioned, not really.
Okay, understand. Thank you so much.
And if I can also add, like in most hotels, when our guests check in, most hotels have a safe in the room. And we always encourage, when our representatives meet with the guests, we encourage them to keep their valuables in the safe. Or I know some big hotels, they have an additional safe rooms. So keep everything valuable in those safe. Do not walk around with lots of money, necklaces, jewelry, I mean, you name it. Like Linda just said, it's just what we call the opportunist, opportunist theft. Those,
They mean no harm.
they're just walking around at the beach. They are jobless. They see a couple out in the sea. They see a bag on the sand. They know by the time you'll swim back to shore, they already get your bag and run away. So I won't say it's normal to have only a bottle of water, snack in your bag so you can snatch it. You shouldn't be taking it. But we've seen very sad situations that tourists walking around with their passport, and other traveling documents. And then it becomes a bigger problem. You have to go and get other documents, get this and that. So we always advise them. And we also have this conversation with our partners, TOs, agents, to let them know from the point of sale, do not walk around with those valuables. Keep it in the room. Just go around with your usual, some clothes, water, some money to buy a few stuff on your day out, but everything else. But like Linda said, we don't have those incidents where tourists are attacked. People come with knives. We are not allowed to have guns in Seychelles. That's another plus. Only the army, the armed personnel have arms. So there's none. So we're safe.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think my next question is regarding the safety as well. And it's regarding about the areas to be careful. In Seychelles, are there any areas or the situations where travelers should be particularly cautious, especially in nighttime, like a bar or specific places?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, Seychelles is relatively small. We do not have nightlife in Seychelles as there is in Japan or any other country. Most of the catering services will be closed by 10:30. We do have availability of street light in most public places. However, we do have some hotels that are situated directly on the beach, which is walking distance from the hotel to another restaurant, which guests might want to walk around. So it is advisable when they are walking around to always ensure that they are walking on the path and there are people around, and also to be back to the hotel an acceptable time. And if they think that it is overtime, it's advisable that they may call for a taxi that will bring them directly to the hotel.
Okay, understand. Thank you so much. I just want to curious that is there any like services, taxi services like Uber or Grab that the tourists can use easily, or is just a normal commercial taxi services?
It's the normal commercial taxi services. Uber services is not, we don't have it in Seychelles, but it is in the pipeline, and we hope that soon we will have an Uber service in Seychelles. But it is the commercial taxi, and if they go to any reception at their respective hotel, they are able to book a taxi for the client. And it is much safer because the reception at the hotel will know which taxi the travelers has taken to go to a respective places.
Okay, thank you so much. So my next question is regarding the medical and emergency responses. I believe that the Seychelles got a lot of beaches and natures, and some tourists are enjoying the outdoor activities, but maybe some tourists get injured, then they need to go to the hospitals. So my question is like, is the medical system in Seychelles friendly for foreign travelers? Like, are the emergency service available in English, or is ambulance response generic quick, or do foreigners usually use private hospitals or not? So I want to know about the general insight of the medical and emergency response in your country.
Okay. First of all, you need to know that all tourists that are traveling to Seychelles and will require medical services, it is payable. It is not free of charge here in Seychelles. They have to pay. And it is also advisable that travelers bring along with them any medical supplies, especially if they have a chronic illness or if they have any condition or allergies. It is advisable they bring it with them, because it might be limited on the island or not readily available. So it will be a problem for them. So this is always advisable to the client. And of course, we do all our emergency procedures are in English here in the Seychelles. You will find it at the Victoria Hospital, any private clinic you go. It's all the procedures are written in English, so the client can easily understand. And if they go to the hospital or clinic, there will always be someone that can communicate clearly in English to them. Okay. And with regards to the ambulance, we have limited ambulance on the island. Okay, and how quick it will be on the gravity of the incident or the accident. Okay, it might take a while if they assess that the situation can wait, or if the situation cannot wait, it will be as quick as possible. But we do have ambulance facilities in Seychelles. Okay, and the next question was private hospital. Yes, they are using, some are using private hospital. We do have few private clinic. Okay, we have only 2 private hospitals in Seychelles, and all the rest are public hospital. But we have a lot of private clinic, which they are offering different kind of services to the client. It can be minor, and if it is something, the gravity of the situation, they are always referred to the main hospital, which is the Victoria Hospital, for further treatment. Okay, but most importantly, again, they should have an insurance at all time traveling in the session that can cover for their medical expenses.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm just curious that if, let's say that the tourists have a major incident, major injury, or major illnesses, and let's say that the medical resources in Seychelles cannot handle that customers, then is there any cases that the tourists transport to the other country to get a high level medical services? Is there any this kind of cases?
Yes, there is this kind of services, but as I mentioned all the time, this is where the insurance has to come in. So the insurance are being contacted. If they they send a go ahead that the client should be repatriated to a closer country or to the main country in Japan. So the procedures has been done. We have many suppliers that are offering those kind of services. So it has to, first of all, it has to be discharged by the medical board, and then we can start the procedure of repatriation. And some of the client who has paid their high insurance, they do have air ambulance as well. So if the air ambulance come, then the procedure is being made and the client is being repatriated for further treatment.
I understand. Thank you so much. And my next question is regarding the natural and environmental risk list. As you mentioned just now, the Seychelles have some natural and environmental disaster like a monsoon and other types of and heavy rain and other types of the natural risks. So I just want to ask in details that what kind of natural risks should traveler be aware of?
As mentioned earlier, Seychelles has earned its reputation as relatively unspoiled for people and wildlife here in the Seychelles. However, as it is in other countries, we are faced with climate change also here in the Seychelles. We are experiencing some heavy rainfall and sometimes some flooding, but it is nothing major that it is not being controlled. It is always being controlled. We have a body here in Seychelles that are responsible for the response of flooding in the Seychelles, but we do not have it regularly. We have our normal rainfall. And also sometimes for the sea condition, the current might be a little bit strong, but nothing major. The boat still can travel from Mahé to Prane to the outer island with a little bit of choppy along the way, but it is nothing major. It is normal during June until September for the sea current to be a bit strong. We have some outer island whereby it is advisable not to go because the boat will not be able to anchor or even land on this island. But all this, it's on alert. We send it through our marketing department. All our tour operator is aware which month of the year that these islands are not to be visited.
Understand. Thank you so much. So I believe that the most important things for the traveler is to listen to the local people, and if let's say like they advises that they shouldn't go to the beaches and forests due to the climate, then they should follow the instructions. Am I right?
Yes, we have signs on some beaches as well, which clearly state that there should be no swimming, no snorkeling as well. The sign is clearly written in English so that everybody could understand. And importantly, we are outside cyclone zone, so we do not suffer from any cyclone here in the Seychelles.
Okay, thank you so much. And I want to ask one more your advices for the emergency situations. Let's say if a traveler faces an emergency, do you think that what would be the most important first action they should take? Like, let's say, like who to contact or what to do first, or any advices from the local?
Okay, in Seychelles, there are different types of emergency, but we do have a toll line that could be called in the Seychelles, which is 999, and it will lead you to all the emergency situations such as the medical facilities, fire. And we advise the client, that is why we advise guests to always travel with a local DMC in the Seychelles, not to travel individually, because it will make matters more difficult when there is an emergency cases. So once that it is being done, they could contact their local representative here in the Seychelles, which they will have the number already. And the local representative will be the one who will escalate all the other procedures, like if the guest will require services, health services, if it will require to go to the hospital, all the arrangement will be made by the local representative through the DMC. Okay, and after that, the insurance company needs to be contacted immediately after that, so that they'll be aware what is their coverage, because few guests came, they are not particularly aware what is their coverage. So they should contact their insurance company, and then they will be advised through the insurance what is their coverage for any type of emergency they may find themselves into. And sometimes the emergency is not related to the travelers themselves. It might be an emergency at home, which they need to go back immediately. So again, the local representative is being contacted, the flight ticket is being changed, and all these procedures, they're transferred back to the airport. So all this is being done to the local representative who discard it depending on which kind of emergency the client is facing. So we do have the procedures in place that the client may contact. But if they are traveling alone, as I mentioned, they can toll to 999 and they will receive a response, and the person all the time will be speaking in English.
Okay, thank you so much. That sounds so relief. And thank you so much. That's all for my questions. And so next, I'd like to pass the mic to our crisis management consultant, Mr. Fujiwara. Is there any question from your side, Fujiwara-san?
Hi, my name is Fujiwara. Let me ask something, okay? First, I'd like to know about the natural disaster again. There is no major natural disaster in Seychelles, right? For example, in Pacific area, we sometimes meet earthquakes, volcanic rupture, or tsunami. So I'd like to know. There is no tsunami, there is no earthquake, or there is no volcanic rupture?
No, there is none here in the Seychelles. This is the place that your travelers should be travel to the Seychelles.
It's very happy. And I'd like to know about the islands. I heard that the Seychelles consists of 115 islands. No?
Correct.
I'd like to know about how many islands are inhabited, unmanned islands. How many?
We have 5 which is habited in Seychelles. However, on the other island, we do have other people living on the island for work purposes only, because we have hotels on this island, we have nature reserve on this island, but it is not the island for inhabited because there's no school, there's no hospital, there's no police headquarters on this island. But there are 5 which is habited where you can find these facilities.
So, do you recommend or not recommend adventure tour to the inhabited islands?
Of course, common to visit this island because most of these islands are to do with wildlife, nature reserve, and it is a must-see when you come to Seychelles. Like, for example, each island of the 115 islands, each of them has their unique attraction. Like, for example, if you are interested in bird, you might consider to go to Kuza Island, Bird Island. So these 2 islands are very famous for bird watching. If you have travelers who like to see birding, and then we have travelers who like diving, snorkeling. They are advisable to visit those islands like Saint-Pierre, Quilles. So each of them has their unique, and some of them has some 5-star plus resort.
The last question is about the traffic accidents or car accidents. Generally, in Seychelles, drivers are generous to pedestrians, and they protect the rule or protect the pedestrians.
It's both ways. It's the same not only for visitors, but for us Seychellois, for our children. We always tell them, when you reach a zebra crossing, it's not automatic that as soon as you reach the crossing, you walk, you cross. You wait until the car stops. We don't have many traffic lights. In fact, there was a set of traffic lights in Victoria. Now, it's not working. I think the authorities, they see, we don't need traffic lights because our drivers, we slow down, we let you go through, you know what. There's enough zebra crossing, so it's just to be careful.
Okay, thank you very much. I feel in Seychelles life is very I'm very happy.
You must come and see for yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And lastly, for the Seven South team, could you give me some messages? Could you give some messages to the audience?
Well, I will firstly wish everyone a happy new year, 2026. Hope it's a good year for everyone. And here at Seven South, we do hope we will see lots of Japanese tourists coming. We welcome them. We reassure them that Seychelles is paradise, like you hear in the news, you see everywhere it's written. You must come and see for yourself. It's better when you see for yourself. That's the best marketing. You've seen it, you've experienced it.
We know Japan is very far from Seychelles, and but it is worth the travel to come all the way to Seychelles. It will not be a disappointment. We have connectivity airline that can easily connect and be in the Seychelles. You'll be one among the most beautiful country in the world, beaches and lovely people.
Thank you so much. And that's all for today's video shooting. And thank you for spending your time.